Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining today's College Counseling Spring Information Session. Please make sure to either mute your microphone or keep your background information silent until the end so it can you guys can hear me okay, and I will answer all questions at the end. All right, so you guys should be able to see my screen right now. This is the College Counseling Spring Information Session. I will go through this very quickly. I can only see the screen that I have right now. So again, if you guys will just hold your questions till the end, I will then stop sharing my screen and answer all of your questions. This meeting is also being recorded so that you can see everything in your own time. If you can't stay for the whole time, that is okay. You will still be given a video update of this presentation. So again, for those of you guys who I haven't met in person, my name is Philip Wintering. I'm the academic and college counselor at the American School here in Vietnam. And I'm here to give you guys some updates on all things relevant during this time of stress. So some important dates that you need to know. We have May 1st. May 1st is when many regular decision for university applications is coming to a close. Some rolling admissions are still happening, but most are beginning to close. So at this point, if you haven't finished your college applications, May 1st is when you should do that by. If you have, you should go ahead and make your deposit. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen because apparently I need to admit everybody one at a time. So give me 1 second to do that. All right, so again, if you have not applied to university, you should try to have that completed by May 1st. I'm here to help you do that by May 1st. You still have 2 to 3 weeks to get that done. If you have applied and you've been accepted, but you're deciding where do you want to go, you should try to make your deposit by May 1st so that you don't lose your seat. If you are applying to schools outside of the USA, many in Canada, England, as well as Australia, their deadlines go into June and July, so you don't have as pressing of a time date, but make sure that if you are applying to the USA, you get that done by May 1st. Okay. The next important thing to note is that AP exams are offered during the window of May 11th through 22nd. So right now, all students are going to have to test at the same time, which does give a negative impact on students in Asia, meaning some of the testing times are 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. It is super unfair. I'm fighting every day, calling them. There are petitions going around trying to get people to get College Board aware that it's not fair that students are testing this late. The only condolence I can offer right now is there's always been 2 different exams, one for international students and one for students in the USA when they were offered on paper. So we're all a bit perplexed as to why there cannot be 2 exams offered for students online, one exam being offered in Asia time zones, one exam being offered in Eastern time zones. College Board has said next week they will see if there's anything they can do. So we're all having to play the waiting game. But for now, May 11th through 22nd is the window for AP exams. All right, so the next window is June 1st through 5th. The only semi-positive thing with the poor testing time is that say you have 2 tests back to back, one on the 11th, one on the 12th, and they're super late and you were just too tired. I understand. And I can easily switch you to one of the makeup days, which is June 1st through 5th. So either if it is an inconvenient schedule time-wise with back-to-back late tests, or if you need extra time studying, either reason, I can easily bump you to the makeup date, June 1st through 5th. So I know it's inconvenient right now, time-wise. I'm fighting to hopefully get that resolved, but for now, there is the makeup test window. So you have some options. And the last date is June 6th. June 6th is the next tentative SAT being offered by College Board. It's to be announced whether it's online or not. If it is canceled, the next window will be offered in August 2020. I have gone ahead and signed TAS up to host as many SATs next year as possible to offset the fact that you might not be able to take as many this year. So again, stay strong, stay positive, and just know that June 6th is the next tentative date offered. But if not, we will get your SATs in next year, and don't worry about that. Okay, again, this is the AP exam schedule. Don't worry about having to take a picture of the screen unless you want to. This is being recorded and I will send it out to you via email. But this is the current AP exam schedule. It shows Monday, May 11th, all the way through Friday, May 22nd, what subjects are offered on what days, and it shows you sample time zones. So example, if you put into Google, what time is it in Hawaii? Okay, if it is 6 a.m. in Hawaii on Monday, May 11th, that means the Physics C exam is beginning. So if you look at the Monday, May 11th column, it says Physics C Mechanics. If you were enrolled in that exam, that means Hawaii time, 6 a.m. is when it starts. So you would need to make sure that you just pick one of those time zones and correlate it that if it's 6 a.m. in Hawaii, whatever time it is here is when you were taking that exam, whatever works for you. It is confusing, but if you are confused, I'm here to help you. Just send me an email as to when you think your exam starts, and I'll type out a timetable for you. All right. Some updates for college applications. A lot of students are worried. How does this period of closures, how does this pandemic affect colleges? The good news is not much is changing. Colleges are still accepting students. Nothing much has changed. All is good, and they are all hoping everything will be resolved quickly, and they'll make modifications as needed, but you are still on track for college apps. So the first thing they're being lenient about is testing. Almost all colleges are now test optional, which is where they were heading anyway. Testing is not the best indicator of a student's success, so they're realizing that more and more now with this pandemic. However, if you have taken AP, SAT, TOEFL, IELTS, any type of exam, it won't hurt you to send it in. It will only help. So a lot of students were worried that since they couldn't take the SAT, they couldn't increase their score, but you don't need to worry about increasing your score. Just send in what you have because colleges are now test optional. With that being said, point number 2, the essay is now bumping to the main thing they are looking at. It's more important than ever to have a polished essay. Again, your essay is now the biggest indicator of how you can communicate, how you can write, how you can articulate your ideas. Can you be creative? Can you be academic? Can you be eloquent in the way that you speak? It is very important to focus very closely and have a key attention to detail in your college application essays. Secondly, make sure you have letters of recommendation. Don't forget this part. Ask your teachers in advance to fill out letters for you. Colleges are going to see how you come across on paper, but also how your teachers think of you based on your performance in class, since these testing scores are now in limbo. Make sure you get those 2 things in as soon as possible. The one thing colleges are not being lenient on is deadlines, okay? We might be paused, we might be e-learning, but days are still continuing. You still have time to get these applications in. Colleges are not going to extend the window, and that's a very fair point. You guys have still had plenty of time to work on your college application, so make sure you get them completed. Again, May 1st is that next critical window. June 15th is the critical window for schools in Canada, the UK, and Australia. Lastly, don't forget about scholarships. A lot of students are actually postponing colleges until next year because they're worried. So that means schools are more likely to offer you scholarships to get you to come to their school. So make sure you're emailing your representative asking how you can apply. Some volunteer updates. Obviously, it is not easy to gain volunteer hours while we're all at home social distancing. So TAS is understanding of this. So we're going to be more lenient in holding you accountable for graduation purposes with your volunteer hours, but you still need to log your past hours. So make sure you were going on to trackitforward.com because many of you volunteered last year. You volunteered in 2018, but I don't see these logged on Track It Forward. Again, if you don't log it, I can't see it and I can't verify it. So make sure that you are doing this while you are at home. I'm going to stop sharing one more time to let in some people I just heard buzz in. So give me one moment. Thank you guys for your flexibility. Just going to let in the few people that just joined. Okay, perfect. Going to go back and share my screen. We are almost through with the main parts, and then I will answer all of your questions. Thank you guys again for showing up today. Okay, some summer program updates. A lot of students like to either do study abroad programs, travel to the USA to visit universities, or do internships over the summer in their grade 11 and 12 summer. However, of course, many things are paused, and it's unfortunate, and I feel for you guys. That being said, as people are trying to adapt to the situation, many companies are also figuring out ways to still offer something academic to enhance, one, your college application, but two, your learning. So there's a company called Invest in Education that is one program offering online courses and internships, and their May schedule is already posted, and they're looking to add programs in June and July. I will show you this in the next two slides, but the link is also below in yellow. And I've also sent this link to you guys via email as well. So you can also search in your email the words invest in, and it should pop up with an email that I've sent you. So they are offering creative career experiences live and online with topics such as filmmaking, law, international politics, architecture, entrepreneurship. They're also doing business, marketing, public speaking, as well as 3D art and innovative designs. So you can see there's all these classes offered on the 3rd of May, the 9th of May, the 10th, and the 16th. And you can sign up on their website. These are live and online. And again, they will have even more available in June and July. So again, if you're stuck at home and you're itching to do something, don't worry. You can still participate in things online if things don't open up. But again, we're going to cross all of our fingers and hope that things do open up and we do get that in-person experience. Lastly, I've been meeting with many students online. I take calendar invites on www.calendly.com/PhilipWenterine, which is my name. And I can do one-on-one workshops with you for your college applications, your essays, or your scholarship essays. So anything that you need, I am available. Just schedule an appointment with me, either on this link or via email, and I am happy to help you. So I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen now and go back to the questions in the chat room. All right, I'm going to go ahead and bring up some questions in the chat. If you have a question right now, instead of asking out loud because everybody will hear everything, if you want to send it in the chat, I will try to address them all one at a time. Let me see if I have any from the beginning. All right. I have one question about universities in Australia. Yes, Kwa, you can email me privately about AP exam scores for Australia later. That is no problem. Australia does want AP exams. So for anyone who is also applying to Australia, usually you need to have 3 passing scores on AP exams for Australia, or you need to have a high SAT score. Obviously, all of that is in limbo right now. They are becoming test optional, but I can tell you before they wanted you to have at least a 1250 on your SAT or 3 passing scores of 3 or higher on different AP exams. Again, that is in limbo because schools are becoming test optional, but it is still okay to send that in just to hope. So Kwa, you're in grade 12 right now. I think you have taken the SAT a few times as well as 3 AP exams. So I would go ahead and send in those scores. Kwa, I can also work with agents. Some of you guys are working with different agents. I can work with you on their behalf So just send me an email and I will contact them for you. Let's see, I have a question that says, I heard the acceptance rate for international students will decrease in America due to the epidemic situation. Has this been specifically confirmed? This has not been specifically confirmed. This is all speculation and rumors. Schools still want international students. They still want to have a very diverse campus. They are still looking to accept. The only thing that has been confirmed is that schools are becoming test optional, and they are now looking for essays as the main component. I would say every week I usually meet with about 3 to 4 universities online, and we have different webinars. And so I'm constantly learning about different acceptance rates and changes. And so the only thing that has been confirmed so far is that schools are test optional. As an international student, you guys still are eligible to study in the US, England, Australia. The only thing that would impact that, again, would be visas and flights not being available. But so far, it doesn't seem like that's shut altogether. And hopefully by the time you would start in August or September, there will be some resolve with that. All right, the next question. Very good question from our principal, Mr. Curran. I know you went over the AP schedule for exams, but can you touch on the new format for AP exams online? Great question. So all AP exams right now are going to be offered online. You are going to be getting an email from College Board in the next couple weeks with information on how to sign on. They will actually be emailing you to the email you have on your College Board account. So if you don't remember what that email is, I would urgently log on to your College Board account and see what email address did you use, because that is the email address they will be sending it to. Make sure you check your inbox as well as your clutter or spam folders every day, just making sure you're getting their updates. When it comes time for your exam, maybe 5-10 minutes before the timing of your exam, they will send you the link to open the window and take your exam, okay? You will have to do this via a specific link, so that way they know it is private. I have been told it is also open note. Unless that changes, they are letting you use it as open note because they understand you haven't had as much time to prepare for the exam. Exams are also much shorter, ranging from 45 minutes to 1 hour. So while it is very inconvenient that you're taking these exams late, it doesn't mean you're testing for 4 hours online. You're only testing 45 minutes to 1 hour. So again, it will be online. You just need to make sure you have internet access, a quiet space to focus, and access to your email. Also, you have up until the day of the test to drop out. So say you were stressed out, you don't want to take the exam, or maybe you want to wait until next year if you're a grade 11 student. You can withdraw from your exam at no penalty. We can refund you 100%. College Board is going to give all of that money back. So right now, I would say try your best. I still think it's a good opportunity for you to get college credit. In a way, it might be an easier way for you to pass the exam. It's shorter, there's less material covered, it's open note. If it's a portfolio submission, you have extended time to submit that portfolio. And so right now, I would encourage you to stay positive and do your best, wait for some more updates, but rest assured that if you decide you do not want to take the exam, you can get a full refund. So there's no money lost here. Let's see. The next question is the June SAT for students who missed the March and May SAT. We had signed up for March, but again, it was canceled. Great question, Sally. If you were scheduled to take the March SAT, you have to communicate directly with College Board. At this point, they should have either refunded you or put you on the next available date. If you got a refund, then that means if you want to take this in June, you need to sign up. If you got changed to the next available date, you've already been pushed over. I personally would wait at least a couple more weeks. If you haven't signed up, I would just sit patiently. I don't think there's going to be a overload of seats. I think it's safer to wait patiently and see if the SAT is going to be in person. More likely it'll be online. And if it's online, then there's no rush to sign up because anyone can take it online. There's an ample amount of online seats, so to speak. Our next question, very good. Will AP credit still be counted as usual? Yes, AP credit will still be given. Colleges have made sure to tell me to tell you guys that they are still going to be accepting passing scores of 3, 4, and 5. That being said, please note that some universities have specific requirements. So while a 3 is a passing score on an AP exam, some colleges specify that they only accept 4s and or just 5s. So nothing has changed as far as what is a passing score, and colleges will still accept that passing score, but make sure that you are aware on your university's website what they will accept, okay? Great question, and I understand this one. Qua has emailed SAT a month ago and they haven't replied. Keep emailing in, keep bugging them. SAT is very slow to reply in general, but again, everybody is inundated right now with emails. So be patient, be persistent, and keep emailing them that you need a refund or you want to be changed to the next schedule, okay? Also, if you guys want to CC me in these emails, I'm happy to follow up for you. But again, I do have to remind you that College Board is separate from the American school. And so they will only do specific things with you because it's confidential information. So I can't make them give you a refund. I can't make them change your date. I can encourage them to communicate with you. And sometimes that works better because they see that I'm representing the school. But again, be persistent, keep emailing them once a week. It's what we have to do. I email AP and College Board quite often, and sometimes it takes them a week or 2 to get back to me. I have to send it in again. So just know that I hear you. I understand it's frustrating, but do your best to stay persistent, and I will keep fighting for you guys as well. Okay, so we've touched on updates for colleges. We've touched on the AP exam schedule being online. We've touched on SATs, volunteer hours. Are there any other pressing questions that I can answer now? If not, know that you can ask questions to me anytime. You can also sign up for a one-on-one session anytime. If you and your friends want to get together and do a creative writing session for your college application essays, we can also do a group thing. I'm happy to host groups, one-on-one, email conversations, anything that is stressing you out. Please utilize me as a resource. I'm here for you. So know that I will spend the next 5-10 minutes answering questions. But if you no longer have a question, again, this meeting is recorded and you don't have to stick around if you have other things to do, but I will hang out and keep answering questions. Sally, this is not related to college admissions, but when will students be required to sign up for next semester's classes? Great question. So right now, I'm working with our IT department, finalizing our next year's schedule arrangement as far as what classes will be offered and what teachers will be teaching what classes. So once we have that into PowerSchool, we are going to attempt to let you select a tentative schedule online so that I can see what your preferences are. And then myself, your counselor, Miss Lee, as well as Tao in the academic office, we will slowly but surely truck through every single student's request, and I will verify with it, does what you want to take match with what you need to take to graduate? And then you will be getting emailed once it is finalized of what your schedule looks like. Again, this is very difficult and time consuming online, so be patient with us, but know that we are in the works of finalizing next year's schedule arrangement. Then you will be given your preference list, and then I'll be finalizing it. And then rest assured, there is that first week every school year called Drop Ad Week, where you can come see me in person if for some reason over the summer you realize that you'd rather take statistics instead of calculus. You're not set in stone, so there doesn't need to be any stress or pressure with this. So I would say in the next month, you should have a tentative schedule coming your way. The next question I have. For computer science, they have eliminated the multiple choice portion. However, students who didn't sign up for the exam will still be doing the same thing. Just talked to Ms. Suze to figure out that College Board will grade separately for those who signed up, and she said they didn't reply and she's not sure about it. So correct. For portfolios, it's a bit different. If you didn't sign up to take the AP exam, you won't get AP credit. However, it's a positive for the courses that offer portfolio submissions because you're still getting that feedback. So Qua, if you chose not to take the exam, you won't get the credit, but you still will get collegiate feedback on your programming. So that's a really cool thing, which will help you get feedback for what you need to do to continue your craft and programming when you go on to university. Can we take AP courses that are not offered at our school? Very great question. Yes and no. It's on a tentative basis. The best example I can give you is we have a student this year who wanted to take AP Mandarin, and we don't offer AP Mandarin. But that specific course, I was able to work out with College Board a way for us to offer that exam for that student, and she enrolled in that course, paid for it, and she will be taking it. So I'm assuming that means for next year, since right now all AP courses have been paid and registered for. So if that is what you were wanting to do, Linda, let me know next year around August or September, and I can inquire with College Board if that is an exam they can let us take without offering the course. So usually there's no problem, but again, I have to make sure that it's a course that is allowed to be offered on an individual basis. Okay, any other questions? Okay, so as your agents provide info for AP credit in Australia, they said they will need a syllabus for that course. So agents can be very helpful. I will caution anybody from working directly with an agent. Make sure you're including me if you are doing that. I will know more factual information than the agents will as I'm in contact with these universities. That being said, they can kind of help you organize your documents, and it's not a bad way to go, but make sure you CC me on any emails when you're working with agents, because that's not necessarily true, Qua. Any AP course we offer at TAS, that teacher had to submit a syllabus and go through a special online training to teach that course. So any AP class you're taking is already accredited by College Board. So any university in the entire world should not question your AP score because you can't have been enrolled in that course if it wasn't already approved. That being said, they might want a copy of the syllabus to see exactly what you have learned. If that is what they mean, you need to ask your individual AP teacher for a copy of the course syllabus so that you can scan and send that to your university. That being said, all teachers were required to give out syllabi at the beginning of the year. So you should have a copy of that same syllabus. If you've lost it, then I would go ahead and ask for another one. Better safe than sorry. You are very welcome. Any other questions, anybody? All right, so just to summarize, I'm going to go back over that main slide with the important dates one more time, and then we will end this session. Okay? So just to remind you of the important dates one last time. If you have already applied to college, either in the USA or outside of the USA, now is the time where you need to decide, where am I going? You need to make sure that you are picking a school that is going to be in your price range for tuition. Make sure you're picking a school that is in the location that will make you happiest. If you hate cold weather, don't go to New York. I tell students that all the time. If you hate snow, Boston is going to be cold for quite a long time. Make sure you're picking a school that is in your price range, but also in a location that will make you happy. Also, make sure you're picking a school that is top for the major you want, okay? All of these things are very important elements, and all of these need to be narrowed in by May 1st. Secondly, May 11th through the 22nd is when AP exams are going to be offered. Make sure you are preparing adequately. If you have 2 or 3 exams back to back to back super late at night and College Board does not change the timing and you want to take one during June 1st through 5th, please note that is something you can do, but you will need to let me know, obviously, before the test date. Thirdly, June 6th, this is when the next SAT is offered, to be announced if it's going to be online or not. So again, if you are having issues with your cancellation from March, make sure you email College Board to get a refund or get this changed to a future date. And regardless, there will be many SATs offered next year. I believe I signed us up to offer 5 from August through June of next year. So rest assured that if you are in grade 11, you will still have plenty of opportunity to take the SAT. But the positive news is that most schools are test optional. All right, another question from Bao. In a group project focusing on the COVID-19 case, I'll have to see what your summary is going to be about for that one, Bao. If you want to log it on Track It Forward and explain to me how you see this as volunteering, I will see what I can do, but I need to see your rationale for that first. But again, we are being understanding. You guys can't go out to organizations right now and volunteer. So it would not be fair for us to hold you accountable to have that full 25 for this year. But there's no excuse for students from last year. So anyone who was enrolled at TAS last year, you should have done your 25 hours of volunteering, and this should be logged online with Track It Forward. And right now you have plenty of time where you can do that. So make sure you are logging this information. And if you need a transcript printout to send to your colleges, I can take a screenshot and send that to you guys. I can also stamp any documents digitally and send them to you as well. Any other questions? Okay. I hope this has been helpful and informative. I hope that if you're an AP student, you are finding time to review and make the best of a terrible situation. I understand how awful it is being told you have to test super late. And I am just hoping every single day that the petitions that I'm signing, the emails and calls I'm sending, the conversations I'm having with other AP coordinators, I'm hoping that something will change. I understand how frustrating it is to have to test late. When I make these phone calls, I have to make them at 11 p.m. and midnight every night. And that's only a phone call. So let alone taking a test, I know it can be stressful. But you can do things to prepare accordingly. You know, try to take a nap earlier that day. Make sure you're eating 3 square meals. You know, have a cup of coffee, have a cup of tea. Do what you can to stay awake. If you have a standing desk at home, it will help you stay more awake if you can have a standing desk. And again, if you're worried about multiple tests back to back to back, I would encourage you to take one test on a later date. And again, it's just one of those situations where we have to make the best of it. It's super unfair, but we will rally together as a community. And I'm here for you. Mr. Curran is here for you. Your counselor, Ms. Lee, is here for you. We are all here as a support system to do what we can to still give you the best possible education that you can have. So take solace and de-stress in that. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Email me with any other questions that might infiltrate your mind after this session, and make an appointment with me if you need a workshop session for your college applications or essays, okay? Thank you guys for attending, and I'm going to sign off now, and then I will send this recording to you via email. Okay? Goodbye, everybody. Thank you, guys.